Hello everybody and welcome back to this channel. So I'm just making sure that everything fits okay today. Yes, I haven't done a video for a few weeks. Easter was last week and life happened and got distracted. And I probably won't do one next week. Again, holidays and stuff, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be able to fit one in. So for those who haven't followed this channel before, welcome. I'm a Gen Xer. Gen X person who wants to try and maybe give some insights. I've got a background in personal development. I trained as a coach, but my day job is in finance. So I try to impart a bit of those thinkings in all of this. I don't edit, so it is what you see. I guess in terms of how things are in my world at the moment, twice a year I do I've always called a detox. So no meat, no dairy, no caffeine, no alcohol, no sugary treats, etc. I only started it this time round 2 days ago. It will last for maybe up to a month. And the whole idea is just basically to resettle my rhythm of life. I got the original idea from Tony Robbins. I went on a Tony Robbins weekend many years ago, and I've done it twice a year for probably about over 15 years, I think now. And I always see it as a way to rebalance a lot of elements of my life. And that's really why I still call it a detox, but actually I want to do it as more of a rebalance. So it's not just about eating better, drinking better, but also acting better. So I've got a long list of things I want to achieve, or at least work on during this detox. Some big things, upgrading certain parts of my wardrobe. Well, that's not really that big. Upgrading things, upskilling, really start learning more on AI, to improve lots of elements of life, and to also look at things that aren't working at the moment, and to see whether I can move on from, at least improve them. Ultimately, this is, again, twice a year, and it's something that does work for me. Could I, give up all those things forever? Meat and dairy, I probably could, but I just don't really want to. I think life as is quite nice in terms of the balance I've got. But I do know that when I do give up some of these foods and drinks, I feel healthier. I do feel healthier. The first time I did it many, many years ago, I was still a smoker. I drank quite a lot in hindsight, living the expat lifestyle. And I did it for 10 days. Did it 10 days, lost 10 pounds. So that in and of itself says a lot more about my lifestyle back then. Things have evolved. I eat more salad, vegetables. I don't smoke anymore. I certainly don't drink as much as I used to. I don't eat as much meat. I still eat meat, but I don't eat as much. So that has evolved. But other parts of my life still need to be reshaped. And the reason why I'm saying all of this in terms of the importance of this reset, reboot, rebalance, call it what you will, detox, is we're at this strange time in the global environment right now. Tariffs, uncertainty, job losses, stock market crashing. A lot of things are going on. Tariffs, etc. A lot of things are going on. And there is that possibility that things could get worse. I'm not saying it will. I've got no crystal ball. But the volatility we're seeing in the stock market, the uncertainty we're seeing with consumer confidence, the flip-flopping around tariffs, none of this is good right now. And I think in this environment, we've got to kind of take a step back and observe where we are right now in terms of how how is our financial situation right now? If you lost your job tomorrow, how well positioned would you be? And I've said in the past about the importance of having an emergency fund, and also having a sense of how you could earn money if you needed to in a short space of time. So I have a spreadsheet of different endeavours that I would do if I lost my job tomorrow. I would know where to cut in terms of spending. I would know what things I could do immediately to start earning at least some cash, some basic cash flow for costs. So things like that. So I'm using this time now within this reboot to revisit a lot of these things. What is my safety net like? How fragile am I in any downturn? And again, every person's situation is very different. You may well have dependents, so you have to kind of consider their situation financially. You may have a pension guaranteed to you that comes to you in 2, 3, 4 years. If that is the case, then you know that you have to be able to cash flow those 2, 3, 4 years before you get that money. You could have a consultancy that is pretty much future-proof in whatever way you look at it, because there'll always be demand for whatever you're offering, regardless of there being a recession or not. So there are many considerations. Everyone's situation is different. But what I'm saying is, this is the time for all of us to take a step back, take a deep breath, and think, how vulnerable am I if things really do get bad? How am I positioning for now and for the future? Am I just sleepwalking into the next economic crisis, or will I be prepared? And I've always talked about the three legs of my stool: career, finance, and side hustle. So career is what you're doing to improve your career equity, if you will. That is a combination of your network, your skills within your role, your visibility, etc., etc., your ability to earn within your role, and pay rises and so on. Then there's your finances. How well have you saved money in case of emergencies? How well have you invested for the future? Are you in low-cost index funds rather than trying to pick the next Nvidia, which has been up and down anyway, or the next Amazon? Are you exposing yourself to high risk by being exposed to certain types of investments, for example? And on the side hustle, what type of ways can you monetize if you need to? Is your side hustle heavily correlated to your day job? If it is, think about, would your side hustle struggle if your day job struggles? So, for example, if you are in the stock market related, for example, if you are doing things that are related to the stock market, if the stock market crashes, will your side hustle be relevant in that environment? Maybe, maybe not. So I think there's a lot of value in trying to find something that is unconnected or uncorrelated to your day job, because it provides a bit of balance, or a bit of an offset, a bit of a hedge if your day job struggles. Assuming, of course, your day job is susceptible to the economic environment. So yeah, so that's a lot of things to think about. So for me, this detox is not just about food, very important, not just about drink, very important, but also about my general well-being and my general positioning if the world goes to hell in a handbasket anytime soon. So yes, so I would suggest you have a think about how life is treating you at the moment. Maybe it's going well. What you can do to kind of take a step back and look around beyond what's right in front of you to what could potentially happen. And in that context, what could potentially happen? How are you positioned to weather the storm that could very well happen? Again, no crystal balls, and it's not to say that any plan that you have in place will be entirely future-proofing your existence, but maybe it will give you a bit of peace of mind. I think some of it's going to be psychological. So peace of mind that you know that if things happen, you do have options, you do have a process and a system that can get you through at least the very near term uncertainty. Okay, that's all I got today. If you want to hear more thoughts and ideas, like and subscribe. I'm going to try and build out some of my messaging over time. I think it's very important, this whole future-proofing dynamic, particularly if you are kind of Gen X, but even if you're younger, you've got to also start thinking about how anything impacting you now could have significant ramifications for you further down the line in terms of your career trajectory or your ability to invest. You know, if something hurt, in other words, if you have a financial crisis now and it hurts you now significantly, then that could totally change your path for the next 10, 20 years. Just a thought. Okay, well, on that cheery note, I'll bid you adieu, and yeah, like and subscribe. Until next time.